Welcome to Moments of Stillness, a place to slow down and find peace within yourself. Today, let's talk about confidence doesn't come from being better than others, but from understanding yourself. There are days when you wake up feeling like you're not good enough. You open your phone, see people succeeding, smiling, traveling to beautiful places. You look at yourself, still here, doing the same familiar work with an ordinary face, carrying quiet worries you can't even name. A faint sadness rises inside. You ask yourself, when will it be my turn to be like them? We live in a world that makes it so easy to forget our own worth. Everything is compared, measured, evaluated. Some are praised for their talents, some admired for their beauty, others respected for their success. And standing among all that brightness, it's easy to feel small. It almost seems that to be confident, you must be exceptional, smarter, richer, more impressive than someone else. But that's an illusion the world keeps feeding us. True confidence doesn't come from being better than anyone. It comes from understanding who you are. When you understand yourself, you no longer need to compete. You begin to see what truly matters and what only drains your energy. You know what brings you peace, what you enjoy, what you need to stay balanced. And from that clarity, you move through life more gently, more naturally, without forcing yourself to prove your worth to anyone. But the road to self-understanding is not easy. Since childhood, we've been taught to be the best, to strive, to win, to outdo others. We grew up in the language of comparison, between siblings, between classmates, between coworkers. Slowly, we learn to believe that our value depends on how others see us. And so we start living for recognition instead of living for truth. We act strong when we're tired, smile when we're sad, pretend to be calm when we're anxious. We try to be better, prettier, more successful, just to feel okay. But no matter how much we achieve, something still feels missing. Because deep down, we still don't truly know who we are or what makes us feel enough. There's a quiet irony in this. The more you compare yourself, the less confident you become. When you look at others through the lens of competition, you will always find something you lack. Out there will always be someone richer, smarter, more beautiful, more loved. If you measure your worth by someone else's ruler, you will forever feel small. Real confidence begins when comparison ends. When you accept that everyone has their own path, their own timing, their own rhythm. Some people bloom early, some later. Some find their passion at 20, others at 40. No one is behind. No one is ahead. We're all just living differently. When you understand this, your heart softens, and suddenly everything feels a little lighter. Understanding yourself doesn't mean you must have all the answers. Sometimes it simply means being honest with your feelings. It means knowing when you're tired and allowing yourself to rest. It means recognizing when something isn't right for you and daring to say no. It means understanding that some days you don't need to be strong. You just need a little silence and a deep breath. A person who truly knows themselves isn't fearless. They just know where their fear comes from. They don't try to erase emotions, but to listen to them. When they're sad, they don't call themselves weak. When they fail, they don't decide they're worthless. They understand that emotions come and go, that they are part of being human, not proof of being broken. Confidence doesn't have to be loud. Many people think confidence means speaking boldly, walking fast, taking up space. But sometimes confidence is found in calm silence, in the gentle steadiness of someone who doesn't need to show off to be seen. It's when you know who you are so deeply that you no longer need to prove it. You stop performing and start being. Truly confident people don't need to be better than anyone. They just need to be themselves. They can listen to others without feeling threatened. They can compliment someone without feeling smaller. They can stand in front of a crowd without trying to impress, just speaking from the heart, honestly and sincerely. Because confidence isn't an act. It's an energy that comes from peace. Confidence is born not from comparison, but from acceptance. When you accept yourself, both your strengths and your flaws, you stop being afraid of being seen. You no longer hide or wear masks. You don't need to be perfect anymore. And in that acceptance, you find freedom. Real confidence is when you can smile at yourself, even if nothing extraordinary has happened. It's when you can look in the mirror and see someone who's still trying, still learning. And that's enough. It's knowing that you're imperfect, yet still worthy, still lovable, still growing. It's the quiet pride that comes not from success, but from honesty. You might spend years learning how to love yourself, but every small step counts. Each time you pause to listen inward, each time you speak your truth, each time you let go of unrealistic expectations, you move closer to genuine confidence. Understanding yourself doesn't mean you know everything. It simply means you know what feels right and true for you. You know what matters, what gives your life meaning. You can stand in a crowd without losing your center because your roots are within. You don't need to compare, right? Because you know your value doesn't depend on anyone else. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. Honesty with your emotions, your limits, your dreams. When you live truthfully, you no longer fear making mistakes because you know you're living in alignment with your heart. From that honesty grows a quiet, deep kind of confidence. One that doesn't shout, but simply exists. Sometimes the most confident person in the room is the quiet one. The one who doesn't fight for attention, who doesn't need to prove anything. They just sit there, listening, smiling, steady, because they know who they are. And others can feel it, not through words, but through presence. If you're struggling to feel confident right now, don't try to be better than anyone. Instead, spend time getting to know yourself a little more. Sit down and write about what truly matters to you. What brings you joy? What drains you? What makes you feel alive? Ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? You might be surprised how many things you've been chasing are just attempts to feel seen, not things that make you happy. When you understand yourself, you no longer need applause to feel valuable. Even when no one praises you, you know your worth. You know that your effort, your kindness, your quiet resilience, they all matter. You stop running after people's approval because you've already found the light inside yourself. And from that, your confidence becomes peaceful, not loud or proud, but grounded. You know you might fail, but you still try. You know you might fall, but you don't fear falling anymore because you trust your journey, and that trust makes you brave. The world doesn't need you to be better than anyone. The world needs you to be you, honest, kind, and trying your best. When you live that way, confidence comes naturally, like breathing. You don't need to chase it or learn it. It's already within you, waiting for you to notice. And maybe that's the most beautiful truth of all. When you truly understand yourself, you no longer need to prove anything. You don't have to fight for love or validation. You simply live truthfully, calmly, and smile at yourself. As if, finally, you've come home. Confidence doesn't come from being better than others. It comes from knowing who you are and choosing to love yourself, even when you're not perfect. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with Moments of Stillness. If this video helped you feel a little calmer, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a breath of peace today. Until next time, stay gentle, stay mindful, and find calm in every moment.